What's up, everybody? We back up in here, Hella Flagrant, the podcast, man. It's your main man, Flagrant DM. I'm in here with my brother, Sean B. Flagrant. Man, we've had a small hiatus. I know, we've been away a little piece, you know what I mean? We haven't been on our regular schedule, but the sports world has gone absolutely crazy, and we are back to bring out all the Flagrant stories. So, I'm going to tell y'all right now, yes, we're going to touch on Bob Kraft. Yes, we're going to touch on Colin Kaepernick settling with the NFL. Yes, we're going to maybe touch on Jim Boeheim. But first, we got to get into the NBA. NBA All-Star just happened. It was, an interesting, All-Star weekend. Some people liked it. Some people didn't. Everybody kind of had their takeaways from it. What did you feel about the weekend in general? And then we'll get, into some specifics about the events.
I'll say this. I like the end of the game, or the ending game, I should say, the NBA All-Star game. I thought was brilliant. A little bit of competitiveness. Of course, high scoring, dunks, Giannis flying over people. Durant won the MVP. I thought that was great. LeBron played well. Everybody actually did, they had a great game. The All-Star weekend as a whole, I didn't really think was too great. Charlotte tried to put on a decent time, but I didn't see that much in it, to be honest with you. I watched the celebrity game, boring. I watched the rookie game. The rookie game had a little bit of, flair, the Team USA versus Team, world. It was okay. Three-point shootout was kind of compelling, I guess. Steph Curry was in it. Buddy Hield tried to do a good job. Joe Harris won the thing. Skills competition was pretty dope. At the end, I guess you could say, with Jason Tatum hitting that half-court heave to win it. Slam dunk contest, pathetic. I'm just going to say that right now. Look.
You didn't like the whole plane. I'm going to put my aviator suit on and I'm going to jump over this and break this plane while I try to dunk fiasco. I thought that was really well.
I'm going to tell every single person that ever is going to enter a dunk contest from here on, don't stop with the props. Stop with it. I mean, I can see if you use a person maybe one time. First of all, stop jumping over everybody. We talked about that already. You don't have to jump over everybody. I get it. People are people. You could jump over them. Fine. We've seen it before. It's old hat. We don't need that. But I'm going to tell you right now, to bring in a plane, a model plane, I don't know what that was from. Where I guess it's a ski airman. That's cool. I salute them. But I don't need to see a model plane. And you didn't even clear the damn plane. That's the coldest part about it. That thing probably cost you at least $5,000.
You clearly didn't practice this, because if you did, you would have broke the plane in practice and known that you couldn't jump over this thing. Like, you clearly didn't practice this. You just was like, I'm gonna try to bring out a plane. And I think I text you this. Blake Griffin jumped over a car, bro, a real car. So if you want to impress me, bring out a real plane and jump over a real plane and dunk, and then we can talk about something. Don't bring out no fake plane and miss the dunk. That's not impressing anybody. But
think about that though. Just what you just said. Blake Griffin, All-Star, jumped over a Kia and got a deal from that. Who was that? Jason Collins or something like that? Collins, I don't even know if you averaged 5 points a game, first of all, who plays for the worst team in the league in the Hawks, decided to jump over a model plane and then broke it on top of it.
Right.
Now you probably only make about, I don't know, $400,000 a year. That's 5 racks of your 400 that's going to that damn plane, because you messed that thing up completely and you lost a dunk contest, so you ain't getting no money from that.
Nah, not at all. Not at all, brother. Yeah. And then, so not to just talk about props and propeller planes and whatever else, but the dunk contest as a whole, man, there's only so much a person can do, right? And so we're starting to see dunks get repeated. We're starting to see dudes obviously paying tribute to older dunks, and so they're taking stuff off. But is it time to switch up the format? Like me, I even suggested this to you. We talked about it. Like maybe they have a different format where it's like, you know, they do 3 rounds and round 1 is for height. And so we see who can jump the highest and dunk. And then with round 2 is, you know what I'm saying, creativity. And we give points off of that. And then you get a total round score or something like that. I don't know. But I feel like the format has to change, because if it's just go out here and dunk and we just rate you 1 through 10, I think that's getting old.
Yeah, I agree with that. They got to figure out something. I remember one time they used to do something like a wheel thing. They'd spin the wheel and like whatever it popped up on, you had to do some kind of rendition of that dunk or, you know, from that time period. I don't know about going that far. I do like your idea about maybe switching up, maybe like the height, like see who could do this certain thing on certain heights. Maybe 1 round you have to use a partner or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever it is, they do need to think about something.
Or even like a horse round where one person leads off and does a dunk and you got to do the same dunk.
Right. Just something that's, you know, creative, that it's not, you know, because my biggest thing is like the missed dunks are the problem. Mm-hmm. When you go up for a dunk and you have this, you know, minute to complete a dunk, and now they're missing 4, 5, 6, 7 dunks trying to do the same thing over and over, but just because you got a minute, you can keep going. I don't like that.
Right. Like, and by the time you tried it 3 times, it's not even cool. Even if you get it on the 4th time, like it's not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. 2
tries and that's it.
Right. So that needs to be fixed. But they have to fix it, because I'm not gonna lie, like the slam dunk contest used to be one of the biggest things for me. Yeah. Obviously being, you know, from the Bay Area, being in Oakland, like I got to see Vince Carter's slam dunk contest live. Like, and that was probably the greatest moment I think of my entire life. Just sitting there and watching that first dunk when he did the 360 windmill, I saw that. I ran around the Oakland Coliseum screaming because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. I know players can't get back and bring it back to that type of form, but just something they need to figure out something, because that was the main attraction of All-Star Weekend to me personally, and I know fans miss it to where the excitement's back. They had a great competition when they had Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. That was great. Yeah, but they got to get it back somehow to having quality dunkers. I don't know how they're going to do it, but, you know, maybe Zion Williams, when he gets in the league next year, maybe he can help out a little bit.
Giannis tweeted that he may want to try to get in it. I don't know. Giannis is big. I don't know if he's going to be creative with the dunks, but
I think that will help, though. Like, if you have more stars or more bigger players come in there, because Donovan Mitchell actually tweeted right back and said, if you in it, I'm good. Like, I'm down. Like, so if you have – you need more stars, more hype around it to just bring out more things, you know, bring out more fans.
It was a time where the biggest players in the league participated in the dunk contest.
I mean, Jordan Dominique. I mean, that was a time that we, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we got to get back to, where people are not ashamed just because they make millions and millions of dollars, you know, playing, like they're not afraid to go back and perform in front of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So,
nah, they got to do it. Well, you know, overall NBA All-Star was cool. Obviously, Team LeBron came back for the win. That was an interesting game in and of itself. But aside from All-Star, there were some trade moves that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, that kind of happened. And speaking specifically about Anthony Davis and the Lakers and how they botched that whole situation.
Man.
Okay, let's talk about that. All right. A lot of people, you know what I mean, like we could put blame on the Lakers and say the Lakers botched it, but do you think New Orleans played with them? Do you think New Orleans toyed with LA on purpose?
Yeah, I do. I think both teams handled that completely wrong. I'm just gonna be actual about it. I'll be frank about it. LA tried to do some shit by I'll take it back. They didn't really try to do anything. It wasn't LA's fault. I'm going to go back to it. Rich Paul and Anthony Davis came out with a statement basically saying that Anthony Davis was not going to re-sign with the Pelicans and that he was going to be moving on after his contract is up, which is not this year, but after next season. By doing that, it's forcing the New Orleans Pelicans to basically trade him, you know, or you're going to have a big mutiny in the city of New Orleans.
Right.
Now, this is the problem with that. The reason why they came out with this statement was because that it's best to do it now, because Boston, there's a rule that in place right now that Boston cannot trade for Anthony Davis unless they trade Kyrie in the package. And I forgot how it works, but it's there's a law that says that Anthony Davis cannot go to the Celtics unless Kyrie goes, if it was this season. So the reason why they came out with this statement, you said what?
How does that even work?
So my understanding is this: because of the trade that they did before, with the compensatory draft picks, I guess that they had with Kyrie Irving when they traded him from Cleveland to Boston, and because Kyrie Irving is a free agent, there's something in the rule that says that you cannot trade a max star to the team without with having that max with the other max star, because Kyrie A is going to be a free agent, but B there's still picks that are still involved in that situation. So the only way that Anthony Davis could come on there is if you traded Kyrie Irving. Now that's only until the end of the season, because Kyrie Irving will be a free agent. So they can do that after the season and trade for Anthony Davis and still keep Kyrie Irving if he re-signs there.
Got it.
Anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is because the Lakers, they came out with that statement purposely now, so that way they could get an upper hand on Boston for trying to trade for Anthony Davis. So the Lakers try their best to try to throw in Kuzma, Ingram, who else was it? Zubats. I think Rondo was in there for a minute.
At one point.
Yeah, Lonzo was in there.
Yeah.
They threw in 2 first-round picks. They basically gave you every possible thing that they could give you except for LeBron James and Magic Johnson in that situation.
And Magic Johnson might have been on the way, too. He was like, listen, if I got to go, I'll go.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Somebody might have to trade Magic for somebody right now because Magic ain't doing a good job. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is they failed in that because New Orleans said no. New Orleans was not going to let basically LeBron steamroll them into taking picks that they didn't want to. They're not going to kind of understand that because if you think about it, if you trade Anthony Davis, you're pretty much having the exact same Lakers team that came before LeBron got there because, well, Julius Randle's already on that team. So if you trade that, you're basically having the Lakers that played 2 years ago.
And now you have them in New Orleans.
Exactly. Nobody wants that. Now, look.
Yeah.
New Orleans didn't do a right job in how they were going about the whole situation. They didn't. They completely messed that whole situation up because, Anthony Davis did want to leave, but they went about it the wrong way. They did not open their doors to anybody. They said they weren't going to trade him at first. Then the Lakers kept trying. Then they kept saying, oh, we want this, but they really weren't trying to trade him. But what happened is everybody else, because they thought that Anthony Davis wanted to do the Lakers, they didn't offer anything.
Right.
So New Orleans got no offers, and because New Orleans got no offers, and other than the Lakers, they didn't do it because they want somebody else, or they want other draft picks, or they want Jason Tatum, which is what I think they want from Boston. Now, the reason why I'm saying this they mess this up is because all Anthony Davis has to do is come out and say, I'm not going to sign with anybody but the Lakers. And it's done.
Right.
Nobody's going to throw away all their picks or all their, star play power that they have for somebody that doesn't intend to sign there. Now, I don't know what Dell Demps was doing. He got fired for his efforts. I'll say that. And it was well deserved because right. When you're working in business, the one thing you cannot do is worry about your pride in the situation and try not to get beat. Because the thing about it is, if you sit there and you're worried about what you're going to look like as a fool and not making the best decision for the team, you're going to lose all the time.
Yep.
That's what Dell Demps did. That's why Dell doesn't have a job. That's why he's probably running around in Union City somewhere, not doing nothing, because he is from out here.
Well, you know what I'm saying? And so now the New Orleans Pelicans put out a statement today saying that Anthony Davis will be on minute restriction for the remainder of the season. You know, in an effort to preserve him, whatever that means. But we'll see how, you know what I'm saying, things play out. Obviously, trade deadline's over, so we got to wait to the offseason to see what moves get made.
You know what? You know what I do think is funny? LeBron has that episode of The Shop that he does, TV show that he does with Maverick Carter and everything like that. Today's episode is with Anthony Davis and Antonio Brown actually on The Shop. I think that's pretty hilarious considering both of them niggas.
Both of them just don't care.
Yeah.
About the team that they play for. Oh, well, Antonio Brown has made it clear that he does not play for the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore.
No, at all.
At all, whatsoever. And Le'Veon, they didn't exercise the franchise tag on him too, so he clearly is out the door as well. But we digress. So, in other NBA news, a story that we love to talk about on the Flagrant Foul, man. We had so much fun the last time, and not to say that infidelity is fun, but we had a lot of fun talking about Tristan Thompson cheating on Khloe Kardashian just because it's a fun fucking story to talk about. And Tristan has put himself back in the news just for us again to talk about yet again. So on All-Star Weekend, everybody, you know, NBA-wise, they was at the dunk contest, three-point contest, doing what they do. Tristan was doing what he does. One report said he was having a sevensome. I don't even know what that means, but
I don't even know we're allowed to talk about that. Just get your whatever your own thought process is, and sevensome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
That's what it is. Whatever your thought process is on that, that's what you would do. Because we're not gonna talk about that.
So you know, as if you unless you live under a rock somewhere, as you have heard, Tristan Thompson was caught cheating on Khloe Kardashian again. This time, though, with her own sister's best friend. Jordan Woods, and Jordan was even living in the house with Kylie, right? Like this is serious. Like was like she's out of there now. Like bye. Was living in the house with her. You know what I'm saying? They said she was damn near like her sister or whatever. So it's crazy that, you know, and we know Tristan is out there doing this thing. We've obviously reported that here on the Flagrant Foul a few times. But in the house though, with baby sister's best friend, almost sister, like come on, bro, like you ripping, bro.
Man, look, I'm just gonna be honest. Tristan Thompson's story it was fun to write. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that out. I can't say anything about it because the thing about it, Tristan continues to mess up. Tristan is the reason why we have the Flagrant Foul. Period, point blank. I mean, and I don't mean that in a good way. I just mean that as an actual fact. Tristan continues to mess up. He continues to put his foot in his mouth. I don't understand this. Now, for everybody listening, you should know the situation. Tristan Thompson is a power forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not really relevant anymore because he's not that damn good. He was okay with the LeBron-led Cleveland Cavaliers, but now that LeBron's gone, the Cleveland Cavaliers are terrible. Tristan himself has not been playing very well this season. Last year, Tristan and his girlfriend, baby mama, Khloe Kardashian, who I'm sure anybody who's listening knows exactly who that is, Kim Kardashian's sister, Kylie Jenner's sister, who also has to do with this story. That's his baby mother. Now, this is the story I heard from the whole weekend. Now, let's think about it. We're all watching All-Star Weekend. Thursday was Valentine's Day. Okay? Beautiful. Tristan decides to go to LA to spend time with his baby mother, Khloe Kardashian, and their daughter. Was it Dream? No, that's the other one. True. Dream is wait, how? I don't know. Y'all probably know more about the Kardashian stuff. There's Dream, True, and all of them. I don't know.
These kids,
I don't know. True is Khloe's and Tristan's name. They all got different names. I don't know. Anyway, True, Khloe, Tristan spent Valentine's Day together. That was Thursday, February 14th. From what I heard, this 7-some in Jordan Clarkson's house was either somewhere Friday and Saturday. Now let's think about that right now. You flew down from Cleveland to LA to spend time with your baby mother and your daughter.
But you're at Jordan Clarkson's house.
Jordan Clarkson is from LA. All right, was playing in LA at least. I don't know if he's from LA, but he's playing in LA. So I'm sure he still has a home down there in LA. You decided the next day to go to Jordan Clarkson's house and have a 7-some. Now,
in all fairness, though, it may not have been planned, though. Like, he might have just showed up to Jordan Clarkson's house and it was just like 5 chicks there and it went down.
Did you just hear what I just said? I said that on Thursday he was hanging out with his baby mama and his daughter on Valentine's Day, and the next day he had a 7-some. It's no plan, not plan, whatever. There's no going from that to that. Right? You have to ease into doing some bullshit like that. That's crazy. You went from going and spending a lovely Valentine's Day weekend with the mother of your daughter and your daughter to going and having the most craziest,
raunchiest
session ever. That you don't do that in 24 hours. That's not right. That's not right. I don't get it. Now, listen, the craziest part about this is that's not even the thing that's actually the story behind it.
Right. Like that's what I'm laughing so hard about is that, like, we're digging on this right now, but we ain't even got to why this is all blown up.
No, that was a speed bump, if anything. Like a speed bump. The 7-some was a speed bump. We cleared that easily. It took us, we tried to take a minor stop, but we cleared that. Here's the real story. On the Sunday of All-Star Weekend, when everybody was sitting there watching LeBron and Giannis and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and James Harden and all these, Paul George, all these superstar athletes have fun, Tristan wasn't watching nothing. No. Tristan was at a party hooking up with his baby mama's sister's best friend.
Yeah.
And this is the problem I have with this. Everybody that has a girlfriend knows their partner's girlfriend. Or they know their girlfriend's partner, I should say. I'm back to them.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Especially when your girlfriend and your girlfriend's sister are more famous than you.
Right.
Now, another thing about this whole situation is that was Devin Booker's old girlfriend. So you know who this woman is also from that. Devin Booker's a player for the Phoenix Suns. I know people don't know much about the Phoenix Suns because they suck. But he still plays for the Phoenix Suns. He's the actual bright spot of that team. My point is this. You knew who this woman was, and yet and still you continued on with it, knowing that this would get back to your baby mama somehow. Knowing that this would get back to the news after the situation that you had been through previously, not even more than a year ago, when you was in New York making out with 2 girls in that hookah spot.
Here's how, though, Tristan should know it's time for him to slow down. Lamar Odom issued a statement.
Oh, here we go.
Saying
Big lamb. Big lamb.
He's upset that Khloe's been hurt again. when Lamar Odom is issuing a statement, bruh, it's time to slow down. You gonna fuck yourself right into a whorehouse and be on dope, and like he try to warn you, bruh, like slow down. Like you out here and you really tripping is what he's really trying to tell you. Is what the statement on the low.
He is not talking to Tristan at all.
He talking to Khloe. He's trying to get back in the house.
Lamar is trying to crawl back onto the stoop. Lamar is not playing around. He was waiting for this because this overshadows him being in the whorehouse. He was like, look, at least the chicks that I was messing with, I wasn't coming back with.
Right.
It wasn't your partner. They was just some random chicks that I was at this little thing that I paid money to. I was going to come back home. Lamb is trying to get back in that house. Lamb is trying to get back in that house. Like he
working out for the big three right now. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. He like, look, man, Tristan he might got more money than me right now, but his game ain't where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't cheat with people's best friends. I just cheat with randoms at bunny ranches. Look, I'm trying to come home. Forget this dude, man.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Right. Like, look, it could just be a family. It could be me.
I was friends with your brother,
Travis,
Robert,
Rob, Black China, Alexis Sky, Kanye, Kim, Scott Disick. Like we can all be
Scott Disick back.
We can all be a family. Like, get rid of this bum. Like, he played for Cleveland. I played for the big three. I'm on ice.
I'm here. I'm in LA. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about me being gone. I'm right here. I'm retired. I could be up under you every day, baby. It's me and you. We all from here on out.
Right, man. Lamb shooting his shot from the big three. He put that 4-point play that the big three got. He's trying to get that 4-point play in there.
A Harlem Globetrotters.
Man, that's crazy. But you obviously see why we like this topic so much. But Tristan always gives us so much information to bring, man. And I know all of you guys have been watching this. Social media has been blowing up. My Instagram is crazy. I can't even look at the thing. Now, every time thing I go, it's just boom.
I'm gonna sprinkle some salt in the game just real quick though, and people are gonna talk whatever they want to talk to me about this. But have we noticed all the girls that Tristan cheats with or gets caught cheating with got a sprinkle or more than a sprinkle of ethnicity in them though? Like hey Khloe, I like you, but I gotta slide back to these with some, you know what I'm saying, natural tan in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to deny it. Yeah, I have seen it. I have seen it. It is crazy because that was one of the things I saw on Instagram. Basically saying the same thing, like Black History Month, Tristan, like people just clapping for Tristan trying to come back. Like, look, I'm not trying to say nothing about that. I understand the whole situation. I just think Tristan is on a whole other level. I think that he might have a serious problem that people don't even think about, man. Like, it's one thing to do whatever you do, but when you running around just blatantly embarrassing people on national TV,
he might be putting up Tiger Woods numbers out there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't doubt it. Like if some shit went left and girls came out the woodwork, like he might be putting up Tiger Woods numbers out there.
I'm just gonna say this because if that came out, watch what happens in a few weeks. We might be on here doing another show, some more Tristan stuff. It might just be a whole barrage of women coming out saying we was doing this with Tristan. Tristan did this. Tristan he do not stop.
So moving on from Tristan and his scandalous ways, More scandal in the sports world. Obviously, flagrant foul, you know what I'm saying? We revel in the scandal. We love it. So we love to see it. And so more scandal in the sports world, a big one, a huge allegation came out today. Bob Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, Meek Mill's best friend, got him a championship train, was charged in a prostitution sting down in Jupiter, Florida. Now, me, formerly a Floridian, you know what I'm saying? I still got a Florida ID somewhere. I just moved recently. I know a lot about the news of Florida and the things that go on down in Jupiter, West Palm, Palm Beach County, and all those little areas. And I know these old dudes love to throw money at females, and that seems to be the game down there. Well, apparently the police, the FBI, they have been running stings down there for the same thing. Bob Kraft, along with, I think it said 25 other people were caught in this sting. And, you know, the arrest warrant has been issued. Kraft has not turned himself in or been arrested officially yet, but the warrant has been issued and he will be charged with solicitation of prostitution.
Orchid of Asia.
That sounds like some shit where they offer happy endings.
Man, so yes, Robert Kraft, I like to call him Bobby Cheddar Cheese because he is the owner, producer, founder, whatever you want to call it, of Kraft Cheese. That is his last name. He is the everything of it. He has billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. This man is pretty much one of the hierarchies and the leaders of the NFL. The owner of the New England Patriots, who just won the Super Bowl less than a few weeks ago in Atlanta, where we were at.
Yeah.
Now, not surprising. Definitely caught off guard about it, though. This is what people decide to do. Bless you.
Right.
But look, from what I hear about the whole situation is there's this thing that dropped. They probably were, you know, going about this for a while. This is not a TMZ story. This is not a breaking news from, you know, Bleacher Report or anybody that, you know, is in the sports news. This is a CNN story. This is a major drop.
Huge.
So this has nothing to do with really sports. It's just he's a part of the sports world. There are also some people that they said might also come out that might be bigger than Robert Kraft. I'm waiting to see about that. It doesn't have to do with sports, I'm assuming. But, yeah, this is going to rock a lot of people's world because a lot of businessmen, a lot of people with higher power, money are going to be affected by this.
Yeah.
What this means for Robert Kraft, I don't know. The reason why I'm saying this is because technically, if he did not know about the drug or the trafficking, women trafficking component of this, which is a big thing, which is what's, you know, this is all going to go down for. If they find out that he didn't have knowledge of this, then I don't think it'll be anything but a fine or some kind of payment or a misdemeanor for his things. The embarrassment of it,
What so
do you think?
So okay, let's back up for a minute. Florida is a huge state for prostitution thing. If you want to like understand Florida as a state, just in general, take Las Vegas and make it a state. Like that's Florida. That's the mindset of Florida. Like people think anything goes. However, the problem is the difference between Vegas and Florida is that a lot of this stuff is illegal. A lot of the stuff that's legal in Vegas is not legal in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So right. People think and try to get away with a lot. You got guys like Warren Sapp. Obviously, he got arrested in Arizona for prostitution, but he spent a lot of time in Florida. And he got, you know, there was a charge that went under the rug where he got a prostitution charge in Florida. Like there are numerous, you know, guys that in cases that we have seen that have gotten caught up in Florida for different solicitation and things of that nature. And Florida is a huge state for human trafficking, and they're cracking down on that. So that's an overall thing. Taking Bob Kraft and even sports out of it for a second, right? Now, add into the mix that this Orchid of Asia spa, apparently there's cameras involved in this sting operation. They have Robert Kraft on camera participating in sex acts and paying money for it and soliciting money for sex acts. So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you knew about the human trafficking component of it, I don't even think like that's going to be a factor. The fact that you knowingly paid somebody for a sex act, though, like, and you're a prominent person, I feel like it could go one of two ways. I feel like because you're a prominent person, you're going to be able to get the big lawyers to sweep this under the rug and dumb this down, or you're going to find somebody that's hit on trying to make you an example and try to, you know what I'm saying, try to take this as far as they could possibly go and try to make this as serious as they could possibly make it. Now, we in America, we all know the golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules. So likely story is that eventually, like you said, this will probably get swept under the rug. It'll be big news, a splash in the pan for now. But unless some of these other people named are as big as we say they are, and all of that really comes up, like if they are really other, you know, billionaires, you know, business owners, politicians, whatever it could be linked to this, then yeah, okay, we may see some repercussion. However, if they find a way to get all that suppressed and those names don't come out, and Bob Kraft, okay, yeah, he was, you know, charged with this, I think he'll find a way to sweep it under the rug if some other things don't come out.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet that he will go down. I think he'll lose a whole bunch of money.
You know what though? When you're that rich, what I'm learning, and I'm not that rich, so I don't know for a fact, but what I'm learning is when you're that rich, you find a way to kind of plan and mitigate losses. And so, you know what I'm saying? When you have that kind of money, maybe I give $250,000, $300,000 to charity as, you know what I'm saying, repercussion. It's a tax write-off now. And so do I really lose money? Or, you know what I'm saying? I just find a way to put it somewhere else.
And that's what I think will happen. I mean, yes, he will have a misdemeanor. Yes, he will be convicted of, you know, little things, but he's not going to get everything. He's going to plead that he didn't know anything about the whole situation, that, you know, the situation was set up to where, oh, boom, I didn't know that this was going to happen, and now I paid for it, but I wasn't intentionally, you know, within the knowing of what was going on behind the scenes. He's going to owe some money. He's going to get out of it. It might be a long, drawn-on situation, but he's going to get out of it either way. The question I have is, though, what's the NFL going to do about this? And the reason why I say that is because
nothing.
Robert has a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I mean, and not to be this kind of frank, but look at the NFL. They don't know what to do with themselves half the time. With the players, with the teams, with the rules, with the referees. This is just another thing that they're going to find a way to not deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to figure out a way to kind of be like, well, we'll let y'all deal with this. You know what I'm saying? We'll let the FBI, whoever else want to investigate him, deal with this. But I don't think that the NFL is going to actively take a role in this. Because what role can you take? Has the NFL ever investigated an owner? Can you investigate an owner? Like,
yeah. Well, what Jim Irsay, when he had his drug situation,
okay.
They had him step down for a while. I don't know what they could possibly do to Robert Kraft. I mean, considering he is, other than Jerry Jones, the biggest NFL executive there is. I mean, he runs pretty much the NFL. He is the reason why Roger Goodell is still there, even though he tried to, you know, take down Tom Brady in the whole Deflategate thing.
Yeah.
But my point is, even if he steps down, he's still running the team. So, I mean, what, you're just going to have Bill Belichick have another job and have to pay him a little bit more money? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not, maybe you might not see Robert Kraft
visually, but he's still, he's still calling the shots.
So, I mean, I really just want to see what video or what evidence they do have, how far, Robert Kraft was doing everything, because they obviously said they have video of all this, sexual acts, everything. Yeah. Now, does Bobby Cheddar Cheese, go too far with it? Does he on camera? Did you see him willingly or knowingly? But you know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm trying to see what is actually happening, because if on video all I see is him having sex with a girl, that's not going to help anything. I can get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he has money enough to where he can get out of that.
I think what an FBI investigation is going to try to show. Not just each individual act, because you got to think about a couple things. Number one, FBI is not going to put money and time into an investigation, nor are they going to release information unless they really think they got something solid. You know what I'm saying?
They must have had this for a while, though.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're not going to release unless they think they have something solid that can stick. They wouldn't get us to the media. You feel me? So I'm going to take that as number one. Number two is, from a bigger picture, looking at Robert Kraft, the billionaire, you know what I'm saying? You look at rich men, you look at, older rich males, you look at the Me Too movement and all that's going on. I think what an FBI investigation and a prosecution is going to try to point to is sort of the lifestyle that says that, Robert Kraft thought all this was acceptable, and Robert Kraft, you know what I'm saying, has been getting down like this for years, and guys like a Robert Kraft do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not alleging or accusing him or any of his people for doing anything, but what I would say is that an investigation is going to try to be like, oh, rich billionaires pay girls for sex, and this is part of the lifestyle. You feel me? And so I think obviously you need facts, you need evidence in a court of law to be able to convict somebody, especially somebody like a Robert Kraft, who's going to have some real high paid attorneys that are going to try to get this thrown out. But I think the big thing, and I think why this is such a big news story right now, is because a lot of those other factors. You feel me? Like with the Me Too movements and all of these. You got Bill Cosby going to jail. You got R. Kelly, who just got charged today with sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? And he's not sports related, so we're not even going to talk about the aura.
Robert. I didn't spend so much time watching TV and watching documentary about Robert, man. When I saw him go to jail, I was just like, you know what?
I watched none of it. I watched none of it on purpose, but I believe all of it. I believe everything. Right. Because,
look, go watch him thing. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go watch him survive R. Kelly. I was terrified for myself after watching that. Let's say about sports. I didn't even want to go outside after watching that. I was just disgusted about R. All them songs, I replayed some of them songs. Like, this boy is disgusting. I am sorry. I know this about sports, but man, I am telling you right now, I freaked out. This man was he was a killer. He's a praying mantis, man. Like, get him away from me. I don't have nothing to do with R. Kelly. I'm sorry. I know this is about sports, but put him away. Put him away. Because I am scared for my own life. Because if he ever switches up, he's going to scare the shit out of me. But he is terrifying. Get him out of here. But I get what you're trying to say.
Clearly, Sean B. Flagrant is not an R. Kelly fan.
No way. Right here, get him away. No way.
You gotta watch Space Jam a lot differently.
No, I'm not watching Space Jam for nothing. That's for the guy that sued Space Jam 2 just announced that they better not have nothing close to R. Kelly. LeBron better learn his lesson. I swear to God. Oh my! You better fly away from me. No way. No way.
Oh no! But anyway, my point was, with all that is going on in the news, I feel like the FBI investigation is going to try to point to some of these, situations where prominent figures are being locked up for sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying? You got these Hollywood executives. You got, a number of entertainment and recording artists and recording executives that are being locked up for sexual abuse charges and things of that nature. And so I think the FBI is going to take its crack at NFL billionaires and see if they can, try to make something stick here. But, again, like I noted, there's always the opportunity for money to talk and money to kind of sweep this under the rug. So we'll see how this plays out for Robert Kraft and you know what I'm saying, in the future and what stories unfold because of this. Sticking with older white males getting away with things, Jim Boeheim at 74 was involved in a fatal car crash that killed a pedestrian. And he will not be charged, apparently, according to police. They say it was a complete accident. There was an accident on the road. A car had hit a side rail. One of the people that was in the car got out of that car to try to cross the highway. Jim Boeheim didn't see this person, struck this person, killing them upon striking them. And, unfortunately, this person did, pass away, which is a sad thing. And police came out, they, surveyed the scene, and apparently they're going to not charge Jim Boeheim with the crime. And I just saw, as I'm watching ESPN, that he will coach the game against Duke this weekend, following everything that's happened. So 74, it takes sports out of it. A lot of people have debates about should you still be driving at that age. And so obviously Jim Boeheim is going to have to answer that question at some point. But the fact is you killed a man and, he's not going to get charged.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard situation, a hard topic to talk about. Obviously, Jim Boeheim is a well-respected person in the basketball world, college basketball especially. Great coach, Syracuse. Syracuse, right? Yeah, tripping. This is my only thing about Jim Boeheim. You said he's 74 years old. At this point, I don't know if Jim Boeheim is all there. I'm not just saying it's because of the accident. I've witnessed a few things that I've saw on TV lately about Jim Boeheim that, kind of seem like he's, I wouldn't say losing it, but he's not really all control of himself all the way. This is kind of a, I guess, tricky situation. Jim Boeheim, very, very, very popular and well-loved coach for Syracuse. Very popular in the college ranks, obviously, with basketball. The situation is terrible, obviously. Striking and killing a man, driving. He was 74 years old. I'm not using it as an excuse, but at this point, I don't know what Jim Boeheim's situation is in terms of the way he goes about life. Meaning this. I think that Jim Boeheim might not have everything all together. I've seen different incidences with him where he has kind of lost control of situations that maybe somebody younger in the situation might not have done. I don't know about if it's right or not right to prosecute. I'm kind of indifferent in both ways. I feel that, if you kill somebody, yes, you should be prosecuted. Yes, you should be held accountable for it. I also can understand the whole situation. Well, he didn't try to do it, different things. I do think that if this is a situation that goes further with it, that he should be held accountable. But obviously, I don't think jail time is necessary. I do think that he probably shouldn't be coaching. Definitely not driving. I'll say that for a fact.
Yeah.
But there need to be restrictions on him. Like, I mean, this is a clear situation where your old age is getting the best of you. And, you know, the fact of the matter is somebody lost their life for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where it comes. That's the problem with this. I understand that he didn't intentionally do it, but somebody lost their life from it. Somebody doesn't, you know, was it a man, you know?
Yeah.
Man, well, okay, so as a man, I mean, somebody lost a son, somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a husband, a boyfriend, or whatever, a father, possibly. I don't know the situation, but my point is somebody lost somebody because Jim Boeheim wasn't all the way there. And this happened. It happened. It's not like this is the first time it happens, but there does need to be some kind of, you know, something done from this, I guess.
Yeah. No, and I, you know, as you pointed out, like there, you know, outside of just the driving thing, you could tell some of his even coaching, decision making, mannerisms. You know, it's hard. It's hard to tell a man, you know what I'm saying, like when he has to stop doing something. You know what I mean? I'm a man, you a man. I don't care how old I get. It's going to be hard for somebody to stop telling me to stop doing something I like to do, be it driving, be it, you know, going to play basketball, be it whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard for somebody else to tell me to stop doing that. You know what I mean? And so I get that part of it. But at the same time, like you said, there's got to be restrictions, there's got to be limitations put because, you know, now you start to put a lot of things in jeopardy. Again, we on him about the driving topic because somebody lost their life. But, you know, again, this you know, could affect basketball decisions, you know, it could affect on-court decisions. You never know. And so, you know, at some point, you got to look at it, you know, from a perspective of it's not ageism. It's not ageism. We're not, you know, saying everybody over a certain age can't make good decisions or things of that nature. But you look at the type of decisions that somebody has to make and the number of decisions that somebody has to make on a daily basis. When you get to a certain age, just your brain can't process all that. That's just realistic. And so you got to take a step back and somebody has to step in and be like, all right, we're going to make these decisions for you, whether it be the decision to drive or whether it be whatever. And maybe that'll help you focus on coaching. I don't know. But
and it even to that extent too, I feel like I don't think it's right for him to coach. I understand you're playing Duke. I understand the severity of it because Duke is, you know, the #1 team in the nation right now. It doesn't matter. It's a situation that just happened, you know, a day ago. The coaching situation is not important right now.
Right.
You don't need to be coaching. The university shouldn't let you coach from like after this. Like maybe in a few days or, you know, a week past, maybe once the person's funeral, you know what I'm saying, has commenced and you attend that. But right now, you shouldn't be coaching. It's not important. I don't think.
Last but not least, I know this has been a longer than you know usual episode, but there's just been a lot going on in sports. So last but not least, Colin, our NFL martyr, if you will, the man who sacrificed his career for social justice, has reached a settlement for an undisclosed amount with the NFL. Some people have estimated anywhere from 20 million up to I've heard numbers like 80 million. Whatever the number is, congratulations to Colin for getting a check and holding out this long and getting paid for, you know, standing his ground on his principles. But now that the settlement's reached, what do you think is next for Colin Kaepernick?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Because, okay, so the whole collusion thing was they are against you from going into the NFL. So now they reach a settlement saying that, okay, maybe we don't want to fight with you on this because, A, we were colluding against you, or B, we just don't want the drama because we know a lot of people back you up, so we're just going to pay you off from that. Now, does that mean that you go back to football. I don't know. I heard a deal that the AAF, American Alliance of Football, which is a terrible product. First of all, I can't stand watching it. I watched it a few times. It's just awful. Anyway, they offered him $20 million to play. He turned that down. I know they offered him to play. He said he would only play for 20. I'm sorry. Which I thought was outrageous because how you would sit there and say, "Oh, you want to do is play football," but then you say, "I want 20 million." But then I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, if you do play, you're going to get raised out the roof, and if you're just paying the same amount as everybody else, it's not really fair to him because everybody's just going to watch it because of him.
Right, like he's going to bring hella attention to your league.
Right, because that's the only reason I would watch it.
Right
now, anyway, because it's terrible. So I get that in some sense, but okay. So now you have a situation where you have the teams that say, okay, we will allow you to go play if somebody wants you. Well, let's say somebody wants it. Carolina, I would be looking at them because, A, they have Eric Reed, who was, the person that kneeled with him in San Francisco, that stood by his back the whole time this has been going on. B, Cam Newton is kind of similar to the way he plays. And C, Cam Newton is hurt with his shoulder injury that, might be a situation. So they might not have him in the whole year. So if, he does play and they do sign Cap, it might actually be a good situation for him. Okay. So let's say they offer him contract. My thing is, what does Cap do in terms of everything else that he's been standing up for?
Like, does he come out and kneel again? Do we have all this all over again? Or does he just walk out? And I mean, honestly, at this point, though, I think, I'm a little different when it comes to these like social justice things because I think a lot of that, I won't say it's smoke, but I don't think a lot of people stand on the principles they say they do, right? And so I say this to say that if Colin Kaepernick signed and came out and maybe not saluted, but just came out, put his hand behind his back while the thing was playing, one game, people may say something, but by game 2 and 3, people would just be back to watching football and nobody would really care, black or white, honestly. If he came out in the first game, he took a knee, then yes, the entire black community would be, Colin is our man, and he's there to show social justice, and then white people would be all mad, like, oh, we just let you back in, and now you're just starting controversy again, and so now we're going to take you back out. So me personally, if I was Colin Kaepernick and I wanted to play, if I genuinely wanted to play football and the team was really trying to give me a contract, especially now I got this money, I would take it and I would play football and I probably wouldn't take a knee.
Well, that's the thing. So what I was going to say is this. So what happens if Colin plays? Colin starts for the Carolina Panthers. Colin, comes out and then all of a sudden his activism is done. What happens?
Well, but that's the thing, though. Like, to me personally, activism or his taking a knee was a spark necessary to get people to focus on the fact that these issues, like he was trying to bring light to. Well, and to be honest, let me not even put that on him because, like I said before on this show, he wasn't even trying to do nothing but personally say that he personally wasn't feeling what was going on, so he took a knee. The rest of the world, we made him an activist for social justice. And then he took on the cake and went on from there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he has the ability to remain an activist. It's just all about how the PR manages it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he has the ability to be able to say, yeah, I can still play football and represent social justice issues, and here's how. You know what I'm saying? Especially because he's been noted to be giving a lot of money to different charity organizations. Like I'm sure whatever settlement money he got from the NFL, he's going to donate a good portion of that back into charities and into communities and things of that nature to kind of help, his cause and continue to sustain his cause. And so I think he has the ability to lead, by example, and be able to be a player that's in the league and doing something while still in the league. If all of this comes, to fruition and it happens, I think he has the ability to lead by example and say, hey, I'm a guy that's playing and I can still, continue to be an activist. I think he has the ability to do that. Is that going to happen? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Is it going to happen? Because my thing is this. Yes, you're right about the media making him the big activism, promoting him to that movement, basically. And I agree with everything he's done. My thing is this. Because of the time that he's had without not being in football, he's devoted himself to doing more for the cause, like doing extra things, not just about taking a knee in the situations for football. He's saying basically for the whole entire world, which is a beautiful thing. My thing is this. Not everybody has promoted Kaepernick to this spot. What happens when he goes back to Carolina and he just has to play football? Because the thing about it is, I'm going to say this. The reason why Kaepernick wasn't getting on the playing time before all this thing happened is because Kaepernick did not take time to learn playbooks. Kaepernick did not take time to practice on certain throws and get better. I'm sorry. I will say that to anybody that wants to hear it. I am not going to sit there and tell you that he is not a great person and he did not do a lot for everything, for the movement. But Kaepernick was not a great player when he was out of the league. The reason why Kaepernick did not play in San Francisco, especially, was because he did not perform exceedingly to the way he's supposed to. Because he did not take time to learn playbooks. He had numerous times sitting there, trying to defend a playbook and had them call 35 or 35, whatever the thing is, basically delay a game because he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Numerous times he threw the ball in the dirt. Numerous times where he threw on interceptions because he couldn't read. They had players that came out and said it. Arizona game when he threw 4 picks, and I remember that exactly. They said we knew exactly what he was going to do before he did it because he has tells that he does every single time. Now, my point is this. Kaepernick's been away from the game for what, 2-3 years now? Two years at least?
2.5, yeah.
Exactly. What can he offer right now? Because if he does go and gets on the team, he's going to have to study his ass off just to be back into a system to figure out how the NFL speed is. Yeah. My point is this. If you're going to do that and you're going to be true and you really want to play and you're going to show everybody what you can do, when are you going to have time to do everything else?
That's a good question. And that is a fair question. You know what I'm saying? That's a fair question to ask. If you're really going to devote your time to football, when are you going to have the time to do everything else? And so, maybe you figure out a way to dedicate your off seasons to doing this or something like that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think, Colin is in a unique place where it's like, you know what? I just got paid. So I do have money to kind of sustain and kind of do what I want to do if I want to do it. Why not try this NFL thing out? Even if I get a low contract, even if I get, you know what I'm saying? Only like $1 million, $2 million, whatever a year or something like that, to be on a team and kind of be able to be, you know what I'm saying, out there and continue to maybe fight my call. I don't know. I have no idea. But you're right. I think, if he's going to be a good football player and better than he was before and be an asset to a team, he does have to focus a lot on football. And so that may take away time from his activism. And
another question, just simply, I just want to know what you would think about it. What if he comes out there and he's terrible? Seriously. What if after all this he comes out there and he is garbage?
And I love my people to death. I love us. I love us to death. I do. But black people will disown him in a minute. They'll be like,
that's what I'm trying to say.
They'll be like, yeah, we was fighting for you, Colin.
That's my point. That's what I want to say.
Fighting for you, Colin.
That's what I'm trying to say because he comes out here and he looks terrible. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not just the 2.5 years he hasn't played. He wasn't making these throws before.
Right. I mean, and I don't want to liken him to, but look at Vic. Like when Vic came back, he was not the Vic that he was before he went to jail. You know.
And Michael Vick was was raw, though. That's the thing.
Right.
Michael Vick was different. Colin had a great year. He had a great year.
Right. Michael Vick was a great player.
Exactly. Because what the NFL is going to do is, if he comes back and he's terrible, everybody's going to be like this. All the owners going to be like, what's going on now? We just gave you all this money. What's happening now?
Just send him to Tampa. Every quarterback looks great in Tampa. If you're standing next to Jameis Winston, you'll look great. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, man. All right, well, so we'll see what happens with Colin. And you know what I mean, in the offseason with him. So Flagrant Foul, Hella Flagrant, the podcast, man, we got to wrap this thing up. I know this has been a crazy episode. We had a lot to get into. And trust me, there is stuff that we have not touched on, so there's plenty more to get into. We got another episode that's going to come right back for y'all. Flagrant Foul, you know, we keeping it coming. We had a little hiatus. We had to get some things right. I ain't gonna lie, I had to move. You know what I'm saying? We had to grow a little bit, and now we rather, you know, come back, keep it consistent for y'all. Flagrant Foul, Hella Flagrant, the podcast. We on Spotify now too. That's a big thing. A lot of people couldn't find us on Apple Music or SoundCloud. They only had Spotify. We on Spotify now. So make sure hashtag Hella Flagrant, the podcast. You get us on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, your mama's house. I don't know where you find us. We on everywhere. But go find us, listen, download, visit the site, theflagrantfoul.com, get the merch site, hellaflagrant.com. You know what I'm saying? And we out here, man. We doing it for y'all like we've been doing.
Continuous all day long, man. We here. Episode killed it. You feel me? We'll be back for another one. The Flagrant Foul with some movement, man. Keep it with it.
Yeah. March Madness coming soon. Get your picks ready. We're doing a bracket this year. Flagrant Foul bracketology. I'm doing a Hella Flagrant bracket. I'm going to just randomly pick all kind of teams, and we go see what happens. But, you know what I'm saying? It's going down. Make sure you tune in next episode of the Flagrant Foul, Hella Flagrant podcast. We out.
Peace.